Gender affirming care in 18 and under is something we should keep pursuing, or is it time to move on? Let's talk about it. Hey y'all, welcome back to the It Ain't All About You channel. My name is Brian, and I'm gonna say it's crazy right now how like the media and social media and political activists and politicians are just up in arms over the basically elimination of 18 and under for gender affirming care. I'm not really sad about it. I do understand that there is trans, but it's 1% of the 10%. It's such a minute amount. But right now, it seems to be everywhere. And people are going crazy with it. And I've always had this thought that it's erasing gay. And it's actually homophobic that you have all these straight people taking their kids that would have just grown up to be a gay boy or a lesbian girl and turning them into the opposite sex and making them straight. It's like, how is that not the definition of homophobic? You don't want your kid to be gay. And we spent so much time fighting for this, trying to get our rights to make sure we could blend into society and be part of everybody and be accepted. And now we have this trans movement that's literally erasing gay. Like when I was a teenager, I wanted to be a girl in the worst way. I've talked about this in other videos. I'll probably talk about it a million more times because it's actually a valid thing. So many kids, when they're in their teenage years, are going through these chemical changes, hormone changes, and things are just going crazy. So your body is going nuts and you want to be the opposite sex because you don't want to do with, society pressures. You don't want to feel this certain way. Your mind, body, everything's going crazy. So instead of them letting them get old enough to kind of go through some of that growing pain and learn how they are and figure out who they are, we're just going in there and putting them on medication and chopping off parts. And we're supposed to be okay with that. And again, I don't know why the gay community is so on board with this. Now, I get why a lot of the politicians and the media is because it's clickbait and money and all that kind of good stuff come along with all that crap. And like the Human Rights Campaign loves it because the more they're talking about this stuff, the more money they can keep rolling in, because it really honestly comes down to money. But if all the gay people, like actual gay, lesbians and bi gay, stepped back and thought about it, they would realize that transing everything is really bad. Like, you can't rent a car. You can't buy a car. You can't buy alcohol. You can't vote. You can't do all these things. Can't get a tattoo because you're not mature enough to make a lifelong decision. That I wish they would realize that, like, if they can't make that decision, how can they make the decision to have body parts removed or have puberty blockers put on, which can possibly stunt the growth of all of that down there? And it just frustrates me that so many gay people are on board with this. And because they go for the altruistic thing. They're trying to be so like, oh, I'm so tolerant. I'm so tolerant. And it's really, you break it down. It's like, it ain't all about you. This isn't about your thought process. This is about what's best for the youth. We need to be telling them that they need to be comfortable in their own skin. That was the movement for the longest time, is be comfortable in the skin that you grew up in and you were born in. That was what really counted. But now it's like you have endless, couples out there transing their little boys because they play with a little Barbie doll. Like, it's like, no, like, let them grow up. A lot of kids grow out of phases. We change things. My life has gone through so many cycles. I'm in my mid 40s and my life has changed so many times. So why can't we allow these kids to have that same adventure and learn and grow and alter as they go on? Again, I get it. There are some trans out there. One of my favorite ones is I love following is Blair White. Like, she is like incredible. I love her content. And, but it's such a minute amount. Like, I'm really big time against the kids. Like, I know multiple people personally that are in high school and that they are going through this and they're all trans or bi and gay and lesbian. And it's just not possible that there's so many of them. So you can't tell me it's not a social contagion. So I get really heated about this because I really do feel like it's erasing gay and it's really problematic. And I really wish the rest of the gay community would wake up and realize that we wanted to blend into society and be part of it, not create this huge mess and make it way more complicated than it needs to be. So I'm going to make more videos on this. I just made a short about this a couple days ago. Make sure you check it out. But I really hope we can maybe come together again and go back to what it was before. We want to talk people into loving how they were born and what the skin that they were born in. And I think that's the most important thing, because when we stop that from happening, then we have all this trans stuff that happens. And that's just not a good recipe for long-term success. Anyways, remember to like, comment, subscribe. It ain't all about you, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.